What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on the MC Eternal tutorial series. So in today's video we're going to be going over how to set up a wireless power network, power grid, whatever you want to call it. Flux Networks is the name, and it is a sick freaking game, baby. It's honestly the nicest way to wirelessly transfer power. Lots of different options, a very great clean UI, and it's honestly pretty simple to set up. So as you can see, I've dug a tunnel all the way down here to bedrock, and that is because the main ingredient for our flux networks is going to be flux. So in order to make flux, we throw some redstone right here above a piece of bedrock, left click an obsidian, and boom, it's going to turn that redstone into flux. Now, the reason we need flux is because pretty much every single thing that we're going to be building today uh, through flux networks is going to require flux. So flux is this, flux is that, flux is this. So all of these require some sort of flux, and you're also going to need Eyes of Ender. I would suggest, if you don't have a lot of those, look into our mob farm tutorial. It'll show you how exactly to set up a mob farm to have an infinite source of blaze rods and ender pearls, so you can have an infinite source of Eyes of Ender. It's going to be very helpful for you to kind of streamline the process of creating your flux network. With all of that out of the way, let's actually go ahead and create a flux network. So if we go into here, we got a flux network controller. You're going to need one of these. You're going to need some flux plugs and some flux points. So basically what we're going to do is take our flux plug here, and we're going to plop them, and I like to put them each on the generator, their respective generator. If you have everything set up, then you should be able to kind of spam these around. Also, you're going to need a ton of obsidian, so I would also suggest going and checking out the auto obsidian generator video that we have. I'll have everything linked down below in the description. But basically, when we get these flux plugs put in, it's going to take power from whichever machine it's near. As you can see, it's already interfaced with the petrified fuel generators here, and it's going to start pulling power. But first, we need a flux network controller. So this is going to be where you control your flux network. So the first thing we're going to want to do is create a network. Security settings, this is if you're playing on a server and you don't want people to be able to kind of leech off of your stuff. You can set a password, so we'll just throw a random password. Actually, let's make it something that I won't forget. And create, actually, you can just change that setting to a public. It's really not important, but if you want it to be private, just set up your password and you'll be good to go. Next thing we're going to want to do is go to each of these and select a network over here on network selection. And as you can see, it is turning blue. And that is because it's all on KLZ's network. So if we come over here, network connections, no network selected. Yes, select our network. Network connections. We've got these flux plugs here, and they're not inputting any RF, and that is because we're not really powering anything. So let's go ahead and go power some stuff. And if we remove this creative power source that we had, and we put a flux point right here, select our network, you can see that it's going to start pulling power to power all of our machines. So that is wireless. It's not going to cause any lag. It is an excellent choice to go for your wireless networks here. And if we go to you can actually access your network connections through any of these, but as we can see, our flux plugs are all giving a little bit of RF here. And here, let's get something a little more powerful. Well, actually, let's just make sure all of these are cut on. So cut this bad boy on, and it'll start pulling power. We can cut these on as well. Oh, actually, I think these are on, right? Is this thing on? Yeah, there we go. Turned it on. Got our mob crusher on. So now we should be pulling a bit more power, and we can go look at network connections here. So if you see that it's not inputting any RF or outputting any RF, that's because it doesn't need to pull power anywhere. So if it doesn't need power, it won't pull power. But now you can see output is going to be 1000 here. So that's how much power this plug or point is sucking up. And you can kind of monitor your network. You can come over here. It's really nice. We are inputting 1500, and just depending on energy needs, it kind of goes up. And this is what I mean. This is a really cool network to just kind of show you know, what your stuff is doing, and it'll even show you the buffer for power you have. So you want to have a pretty nice buffer before you start adding a ton of different machines to your network. But that is the basics for Flux network. So points, plugs, points, and your network controller. You can even set up wireless charging. So if you select all of these, enable wireless charging, and apply that, if you have any items that need to be charged, like a building gadget or a flux board that isn't creative, it will charge it automatically for you. The same goes for like Dark Ender IO armor and stuff like that. It's very nice, it's very neat, and it's a great tool to have around your base. So I hope you did enjoy the video. You already know the deal. If you did, like, subscribe, comment down below what you want to see next, and I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. Peace.